The Antrim captain is Brona Devlin, twin sister of Anya, the goalkeeper, and their dad at Randalstown here, and it is their original club, even though they play for Money Glass, runs the scoreboard, and it's Father's Day, so that's why I'm mentioning that right at the start here in the beautiful sunshine at Tiernan Oak, Randalstown, before this TG4 All-Ireland Junior Championship game between Antrim and Longford. So happy Father's Day to all the dads out there, and especially to the one running the scoreboard today. And I'm pretty sure Brona will keep him busy on that scoreboard today, the way that she plays, because so far she scored 2-2 against Offaly and could well get on the scoreboard again today. The Longford captain, to mention her, is Sian Gallagher from St Bridget's Gales in Longford, of course, and quite a few from that club, and I'm sure some of the dads are watching online, so feel free to drop me a message about that. You can message there on the Facebook coverage or the YouTube coverage. Just go underneath the coverage and put up a wee message there, and you can get directly to me, or if you prefer you can contact me directly on Instagram at Jerome Quinn 1, or on Twitter just Jerome Quinn, not the one, and that will reach me as well. So I'll keep an eye on all that as we go on with the game. But as I say, beautiful sunshine here, terrific setup. We haven't broadcast from Tiernan Oak, Randalstown before, so this is a first, and it is absolutely terrific. The grounds here, the clubhouse, everybody helping. It really is superb, and the pitch is terrific, as a lot of them are this time of year, but still takes an awful lot of work, and they were out all morning getting it ready. And I have to say, everyone here very accommodating and pleasant and helpful, and we have managed to get in here and get a good slot for this pitch, which is their new pitch, I believe, so not the one nearest the road when you come in, so a little bit harder to get to, but we've been able to get in and get a good spot here for this game. Really looking forward to it. And I'm trying to see my monitor here, but it's very difficult because it's just so bright here, which we're not complaining about at all. It's great to be here. But the backdrop to this is, well, there's a lot of backdrops, but the main one is that Antrim were shocked a couple of weeks ago when they lost to Derry in Celtic Park. Everyone would have expected Derry to, or rather Antrim to win that game, but Derry pulled out all the stops, played extremely well, and have backed it up as well. They had 3 2-pointers in the first half, and they beat Antrim that day. No excuses. Well done to Derry, fair play. But Antrim today looking to get back on track. That is really the story here. They would be favourites for the All-Ireland Junior Championship to win it in the final on the 2nd of August in Croke Park, but the last day would have been a real jolt to their system, so they're looking for a reaction today, and their manager is out there, Mickey Devlin, going towards the team photograph, which of course has been taken by Elaine Kelly, and the other manager is Chris Scullion. So they're looking to get back on track today, and they wouldn't have lost many games in the time they've been in charge since last January. In fact, last year the only game they lost was the All-Ireland final, but it meant that they didn't go up to intermediate. They're still in junior, so very, very keen to get out of junior, but not so easy. Carlow are obviously a very strong team at that level this year, so you would imagine when those two come across each other, that will be an almighty battle. But now Derry have thrown themselves into the mix as well. So there's Group A and Group B. This is Group A. So you have Offaly are actually there on top at 6 points. Derry on 6 with just 2 games played. They're playing Kilkenny today at exactly the same time at 2 o'clock. Then it's Antrim with 2 games and 3. Then Longford 3 games and 1 win. And then Kilkenny are bottom. And the other group, Carlow, are top from Sligo, Limerick and London. So lots of football yet to be played before the semi-finals on the 12th of July. In fact, next Sunday, the 28th, you'll have Kilkenny against Antrim. So you could take an Antrim, no offence to Kilkenny, but they'd be extreme favourites there to get the points there and to get up the table. And then Offaly against Derry that day. So really today, you would say for Antrim, should put them in a very strong position to finish either top or second in the table at the end of all of that. But yeah, Derry beat them 217 to 112, so a big shock to the system, and not even by a point, beat them well. Other backdrops today, well, apart from Father's Day, you have the likes of Orla Prenter is back. Now, Orla Prenter would have been a star player a couple of years ago for Antrim when they had a run all the way to an All-Ireland Intermediate Championship semi-final. Brilliant player. Went off to Australia. She's back and just brought back into the panel this week. So she should play at some point today, and she really is quality and fantastic just from a ladies football point of view to see a quality player like that back. So we expect her to play today. So it's TG4 All-Ireland Junior Championship Group A Round 4. And the referee is Philip Conway. He also refereed Meath Tyrone yesterday in Omagh. He's been drafted in to do this game, so 2 and 2 days for him. Now let's look at the teams then, and I think we will go to Antrim first. And well, before I do that, let me mention the other officials. Gavin Finnegan, fourth official, and on the lines we have Helen Rice from Down and Siobhan Coyle from Donegal, as she was on the line in the live stream game we did last week as well, now known as Siobhan Kelly. And talking about that, you have the likes of Anya Tubridy at number 8 for Antrim, now Anya Lynch, but Tubbs she's known as, and will be hard to shake off that Tubridy name, but she's at midfield with Lara de Hunsey, the St Paul's girls, in the middle of the field. And then you have of course the Devlin twins up the middle, and from the same Money Glass club that are Ulster champions, you have Maria O'Neill at full forward. She scored a goal a game against Offaly and Derry. Some other interesting ones to look out for: Emily Cairns at number 2 from Gordon Amona. So she's in. I don't know too much about her, though I did see her team last week having a very good league victory over St Bridget's, when the likes of Elisa Davidson at number 12 from that club also, they were all involved there. Then you have 2 Sarsfields girls at 6 and 7, Juna Coleman and Carla McKenna. You have Maeve Mulholland is from Glenravel at number 4, and then you have some of the St Bridget's girls. And Avine Monaghan at 13 is Glenavy, same club as the managers. And one to watch out for, Aileen McDonald at number 15 from St Bridget's. She's just returned to Belfast after being in Dublin, and she's one to watch out for, a very fine player as well. Now they're trying to get the anthem ready, and while they're waiting to do that, we will look at the Longford team. And there it is indeed: Aoife Cooney in goals, the captain Sian Gallagher at number 8. Watch out for the likes of Katie Crawford from Carrick Edmund, number 14, a very, very fine player. Zara Dark at 12, and Fumi Talibi at number 5 came on the last day I saw them. They did very well in the league final. Lost eventually that day, maybe just needed a bit more belief in the second half, but certainly shaped up well from the first time we saw them at the start of the year, when they had new management, and at the last minute Dave Lambert came in, Kildare man living in Meath, and they were beaten that day and all at sea, but they've improved a lot. Now the anthem with Eiteen Madden from Money Glass, and her dad would be Kevin Madden, that a lot of people would know, a great footballer for Antrim and manager of many teams as well. So 18 is about to sing.
Sure fasta ni aiker when shiranak when tra anak dahim savarna well legan gilhan brought no sail legan heskrel relawak na biler shalit kanin
Big squad of Antrim players, 30 of them of course. Over there, Longford don't look to have quite that many, but they've made the long journey up here to Randalstown and are up for this game after having a few mixed results recently, but steadily improving, I think, as the year has gone on. So it's the All-Ireland Junior Championship on a beautiful day. What more could you ask for? Antrim getting ready over on that far side in the huddle. And they've had a few setbacks with the loss to Derry and the loss of Ciara Brown to injury, but it was good to see her jogging around the pitch before the game in straight lines at least. Don't know if she will be back soon or not, but at least able to run about and be part of the setup here, which is always good to see. A real stalwart and a very passionate and dedicated player. And in the foreground here we have Niamh McIntosh coming over. Well, she's in the subs actually, Niamh McIntosh, so she's back today as well. She'll be the captain of Money Glass, that played in the All-Ireland Senior Final last year, number 30 today. So she's on her way back too. So Antrim gearing up for the rest of the summer, big couple of months ahead. So midfield, the 2 St Paul's girls, Lara and Anya, against Sian Gallagher, and I see Fumi Talibi has gone to the middle there. She's wearing number 5 for Longford, but has gone to midfield. So it's Antrim playing from right to left as you and I watch it here. And I see a 21 in there for Longford, so there's a late change that I didn't know about. That would be Longford's Aoife Nolan in from the start at right half forward for them. She's up against Carla McKenna there, so a late change, at least one late change for them. Lara breaks it down to Anya Tubridy, and the St Paul's girls get Antrim moving from right to left. She's still going. And back into Tubridy. It's only the St Paul's girls so far, but now beautifully worked between Devlin, and there's a goal after 15 seconds. Beautifully worked, and it's Theresa Mellon. So it was Moneyglass and St Bridget's combining right at the end. A perfect start for Antrim. A brilliant move in the sunshine here in Tiernan Randalstown, and that's a great start. Goal to no score for Antrim against the Longford team, who have got the ball to Leanne Keegan now, and she bursts away, but has to show great determination there to get through Lara DeHunsey, and that's not easy to do, but she managed to do it, to get it out to Katie Crawford. 14, but she'll play out around the middle and be very much a playmaker for them. It was excellent in the first half of the Leinster final. Off she comes again, and there was a challenge there from Juna Coleman, and the referee right behind it and said no foul, and it is though a 45, and a lively start to the game. Slight breeze coming from left to right in favour of Longford. And it's going to come back out for the number 13, Aoife Darcy, to take this. So just to confirm, 21, Aoife Nolan from Rathcline in from the start of the game. That one has gone low right out to the right, and it's got to the intended target in the end. And coming back now to the girl who kicked it in, Darcy. Over this side she has Emma Farrell and uses her. Now the number 12 there for Antrim, Alyssa Davidson, went to go back to challenge and then realised it would be a breach. So she stopped just before the dotted line. I was watching a game yesterday, Armagh and Waterford. Waterford had 2 sent off, so it was only 13 on the field, and with 3 up they were rather depleted at the back, but still put up a great effort against Armagh in the senior championship, and everybody I think felt for them, because they are a team that's been so close and knocking on the door so much, and were very unlucky in the previous game, and against a great Armagh team yesterday they came very close, and sad to see them exit the senior championship. Dark horses for the last 2 or 3 years. Big blow to them. Great performances. Kellyanne Hogan, the Murrays of course, and so on, but just came up short. But that's the harsh realities of senior championship football. Armagh were not going to be beating the athletic grounds, and they were terrific. Now here comes Longford after a lot of ball from right to left, not going anywhere, but it is Crawford again, fouled by Mellon. She puts her hands up, but the challenge already been made, and there goes the solo and go, and she might get a score out of this in the end, and that looks good, and it is. She has used it, and you know the breeze is a little bit stronger than I thought. It carried that one over for Katie Crawford. She might have got it anyway, but that made sure. So they're on the boards, 1 goal to a point. Anya Devlin, pinpoint kick out to Emily Cairns, and it needed to be, and a pinpoint pass to Brona Devlin. That one not so. That's intercepted, and it's taken absolutely brilliantly by Aileen McDonald, and off she goes, feeds it into Aoibhinn Monaghan. Aoibhinn loves the goal. Oh, she was so close, bounced that one off the top of the crossbar, but could easily have been a second goal. Great break by Antrim there. They really have dangerous forwards, and that one's gone straight to McDonald again, so another chance. She bypasses the full forward and leaves it off, and is this going to be 2 in about 30 seconds? It is, and I think it was Aoibhinn again, and indeed it is. And actually I've just realised the first goal, I said the pass was by Brona Devlin, 14. Of course it's not. That was Maria O'Neill who laid it off. It was Maria O'Neill, not her clubmate Brona. Maria's 14, so I saw the 14 and Brona has played there quite a lot, but not today. So it was Maria O'Neill who had the assist for the first goal. This is Talibi. Now there was a high challenge there by Anya Tubridy, and she apologises immediately, but there was contact there, and the referee Philip Conway is coming over to talk to Siobhan Coyle about that. It could be a card here, because yesterday certainly 2 high challenges around the neck were straight yellows. And indeed, Anya Lynch Tubridy is in bother here. Now, I'm not sure if she's just talking to her or it will be a yellow. Well, he's taken a name here, so that is going to be a yellow. And to be fair, she did apologise. She didn't mean it, but it was still a high challenge and connected with the head, and that is a yellow card. So Antrim down to 14. So a lively start to this game, which has been played on a carpet of a pitch. Ball over the top. The Huntsy picks it up from Talibi. Good strong play by the midfielder who has served Antrim so well for many years. Mellon feeds it on to McKenna, to Agnew. The pace and power going up the middle. Now this definitely is Brona Devlin, and she feeds it in there, and that's a super ball into the corner, looking for Maria O'Neill. Attention from Leanne Keegan, but she keeps going. That's a dangerous ball across. This could be another goal. It's Aileen McDonald. Goes to ground. No penalty, or is it? No, she's touched the ball on the ground. Free out. Very close to another goal. And they try to break away with Zara Dark, but instead Antrim get it back and get it over the bar. So the 14 players make it 1-3-2 a point. And it does feel like Antrim could score at will. They seem to have players over when they break, and lots of pace and power. 22 is in for Longford, I've spotted now as well, as we follow this one in front of me here, and it breaks. It's a ball for Longford. Oh, Juna Coleman tried to intercept it, but it still gets through to Katie Crawford. She makes Longford tick, and that's a good ball. Getting it to Gallagher, and they're through here, or are they? Mellon's all the way back there, one of the forwards, but is unable to stop it, and 17 puts it over the bar. So that's another girl who has started the game that I wasn't sure about. So Catherine Kilduff, that is actually number 17 for Longford, with a fine score, really well made. Good open game this. 22 has spotted it there as well a few minutes ago for Longford. That's Amy Cregan. And just writing this down, Amy Cregan, number 22. So that's at least 3 changes from the starting 15 that was named for Longford. They have been pretty lively and have got 2 points, despite conceding that goal right at the start, and they could have conceded another one. But very much depleted and trying, as I say, to build slowly as the year goes on. Now this is where the 3 up can influence a game. If a defender just decides to head off up the field, the forward can't track them back, and that's what happened there, and it's led to this opportunity. But a loose ball there has been picked up, and look who's back there. It's Brona Devlin, the number 11 and captain, all the way back there near her goalkeeper. This is Agnew, and off she goes. Good strong play, and that's a good ball played up, but the number 22 there, Amy Cregan, did enough there just to get out in front of Aoibhinn Monaghan. And it's Longford wearing the colours of the St Bridget's Club in Belfast, who have quite a few of the Antrim players here. Might be a little bit confusing for them. There's Carla McKenna getting through though with a good interception. She's from the Sarsfields Club and does brilliantly. And this is where Antrim appear to be really dangerous. Great forwards, great movement. And this is Maria O'Neill, the fabulous moneyed glass player, cutting through and feeding it to Aoibhinn Monaghan, who's pinged one off the crossbar. Oh, she goes for the difficult route and just looks to fist it over the bar. Elisa Davidson, and does. Really good score. She got 3 points against Derry. And has got another one here. 1-4 plays 2. So I will check on your comments on the live stream. And indeed, you can message me on Instagram at Jerome Quinn 1 if you wish. I'll keep an eye on that. And on the comments on YouTube and so on. If you can let me know what you think of the game or where you're watching from, feel free to do so. Short kick out reaches Leanne Keegan. So they get away with that, they get possession, but good pressure then applied from Antrim. Nearly turn it over, and now it's kicked away straight to Elisa Davidson. And Longford have been doing that far too often, and they've players over here. That's good interplay between Mellon and Devlin pings it. Has it gone over? No, it's just wide and just to the left. But yes, that's been a pattern so far. Longford very loose with their passing and have been given a lot of ball, kicking a lot of ball away, and then Antrim have been very fast on the transition. Have been threatening goals nearly every time. Sian Gallagher, the captain from St Bridget's Gales for Longford, looking to steady the ship a little bit. They're 1-4 to 2 down, they're 5 down, but in honesty it could be a bit more. But this is good play by her, speeding away. This is terrific play, but runs into a saffron wall. Back to Emma Bleakley. This would be Crawford with an effort from distance, and this one asking a little bit too much, especially as she was off balance. So Antrim so far here at Randalstown beat Offaly, so one good result here already. They won that one 4-15 to 1-9. And they played Longford twice in the last year, both in 2025, but hadn't played them before that since 2017, so 8 years without a game. And then last year Antrim beat them twice. They beat them in Dunsilly 4-10 to 1-8, and then they beat them, well, that was in the league, then they beat them in the junior championship 4-15 to 5. So big scores against them, 4-15 and 4-10. Whereas back in the day, in the likes of 2017, Longford beat Antrim in the dub, actually, in Queen's University playing fields in Belfast. 7-20 Longford scored to 2 points, and they beat them in the All-Ireland final, famously 2016, the All-Ireland junior final. But these days it's very much about Antrim having the upper hand, but Gallagher tries to get a shot away and does really well, but easy for Devlin, who gets it out to DeHunsey, who's fouled. But Devlin, a very good goalkeeper, came in last year and then won awards all over the place, league and championship, for being a goalkeeper, and is still in there, and why not? Agnew feeds that one into Brona Devlin. Davidson named in the corner, but out around the middle, influencing the play in every way she can. That's McKenna putting it in, and it breaks kindly for Monaghan. There's a free if she needs it or wants it. In fact, there might have been 2 frees there. So free in for Antrim now. Who is going to take these? It's going to be Maria O'Neill. Let's watch her style here. A couple of solos. Everyone has their own style and steadies herself. One more solo. Sideways on. Again, gets a power behind it, nice and steady in the body, good balance, and make sure that it goes over the bar. 1-5 to 2. Antrim very much in charge, as we expected. Now the goalkeeper is Aoife Cooney, looking to go that way, but it's gone to Aoife McDonald, and a chance here for Antrim. They've got it, and they've got players over as well. Maria O'Neill, oh, good tackle actually, or was it? No, it's not, it must be a penalty. She came in there rather late. I thought she'd managed to get the ball, but obviously didn't. Now the referee is going to make sure, he's going to talk to his umpires here, but I think this will be a penalty for Antrim. And I know that the likes of Orna Prenter in the past would be a penalty taker, but she's not on the field yet. So I imagine it will be Brona Devlin. And the referee calling the number 22, and she could be in bother here, Amy Cregan, because it looks like it's a similar situation to the previous one. They signalled for a high challenge and he sent Anya Tubridy off of that. So yeah, both teams down to 14 players, and a penalty for Antrim. Treatment required as well. And Brona takes the ball. So 1-5 to 2, almost halfway through the first half. And it's Aoife Cooney in goals for Longford from Clongish. So Brona waiting to take it. I think it's Maria who got injured, so she's making her way out. So Brona Devlin, the captain for Antrim, she scored a penalty in the All-Ireland final last year, lashed it to the top of the net. What way will this one go? And remember, her dad works the scoreboard here at Randalstown. This is actually her home club, even though she plays for Money Glass. Sets that one into the corner, and on Father's Day she says to her dad, put that one up in the scoreboard. Really good penalty, and Antrim well in charge here in this TG4 All-Ireland Junior Championship game. Kick out from Cooney, and Antrim working really hard there and having to, chasing back midfielders and half forwards. And they really are a fine team. I just don't know how they lost to Derry. It must have been a very, very impressive performance by Derry. And I was talking to the manager of Longford before the game, and he said, yeah, Derry are the real deal. So that's great for the junior championship, great for Ulster to see Derry coming good. This is Aoibhinn Monaghan taking the ball. She's been involved a lot and fouled a lot and feeds it back out, but she's a light player, very young player, who's still at school this year. in St. Dominicus College or something like that in Fort William. I can't remember the exact name of it. I should know because my mother went there a long time ago. But she's still at school or just out of school. Very light but fabulous player, fabulous talent for the future. And getting thrown about a little bit there, but made of tough stuff. She's from Glenaby, St. Joseph's, and again perfect free taking style there from the left hand side and nailing it perfectly. Two 6 then to 2 for Antrim, and they have the press on. But they still get it away to Saoirse Dawson. Or is it Sorka? Different parts of the country pronounce it in different ways. Or Saoirse Gormley is definitely a Saoirse, but a lot of other areas it's Sorka. So it could be that for Dawson. Now the boot went in there to get the ball away from Juna Coleman, but the referees will nearly always give that one. The player's gone down to pick it up. And Philip Conway has indeed given that one. As I say, he refereed yesterday Tyrone against Meath and Omagh. Won by Meath, so Tyrone go into the relegation playoffs. Meath in the All-Ireland quarter-finals. The draw was made after the game. And very, very interesting it is too. Looking at Armagh as the only Ulster team in there, still in the senior championship from the 8. And they have Kildare in the quarter-finals. And then if they win that, they'd be through to play Galway or Mayo. Obviously every game is very, very difficult, but an interesting path for them if it transpires. But Kildare have a lot to say about that. This is Mellon on her favourite left foot, but goes wide. Great stat just coming through from a friend of mine. Donegal, Dublin. Is it the game? Is he talking about the... Not sure what game he's talking about. Maybe it was the ladies' game last week or something, but there's a stat up here that said there was only 4 frees in 35 minutes. In the first 35 minutes, isn't that the way the modern game is going? That's what we want to see. We don't want the game stopping and starting with lots of frees. I presume it was actually, now I think about it, the ladies' game last week. So we're Antrim back to 15? No, but give it 5 seconds and now they are. So Anya Tubridy comes back on. So it was 14-14, now it's 15 against 14, and Tubridy back in at midfield for Antrim, who have already got a 10-point lead. Cooney with a kick out. Nearly every kick out has gone to that left hand side, and most of them have got away. That's gone to Talibi, but De Hunsey does well. Well, did well until the pass, which was just a little bit ahead of O'Neill. And that's going all the way over the top, but looks like it was a push by Emily Cairns. Free for Longford, and they looked to take it quickly, but it wasn't from the right place. In fact, it was quite a distance away from the right place. So they don't get the advantage of the solo and go, or as I call it, the go and solo. Aoife Darcy takes it up again. De Hunsey coming back in, and she was able to do that because there's 3 other players up in their own half. Antrim just need to be careful about that. Little block there by De Hunsey, but still find its way through to Dawson. Crawford just coming back to Darcy, and those two having quite a lot of ball, but they're not making much progress. And this is Crawford again, now making a bit of progress, but Antrim set up so well, always waiting and greeting, shall we say, the player coming through. They all know their job, and it looks like Longford are going to have to come cross field sideways, and that's exactly what is happening. Mellon nearly gets in with an intervention there, and this is Bleakley out to Talibi beside the Antrim dugout. They're not really making much progress here, are they? They've scored 2 points, but haven't got through really. They had 1 half effort at a goal that was saved rather easily by Devlin, but they have not been able to really pierce the Antrim defence with any regularity. It's good work though, getting it to Shauna Madden. This is better from them. Back out to Gallagher. Well worked, and in the end that shot's going to go right and wide from Aoife Nolan, but better from Longford. But quality defending by Antrim, to be fair. Working very hard and keeping them out, and much improved from the last day, and they conceded 3 2-pointers in the first half. Now I'm looking at what's happening here, and I think, is this a water break? I think it is, you know, and I don't blame the referee for doing that at all, although it is a bit strange that it's after 20 minutes, not after 15, but very welcome, and I might reach for a water myself. It's tough going out there, so it's a bit like the World Cup here, we're having water breaks. It also gives me a chance to look at my messages. And yeah, so that's Stat Donegal Dublin. I'm not sure what the game was, but it seems to be on at the moment. Here, Donegal playing Dublin. Oh, I suppose they are senior championship. Is that what it is in the men? Yeah, so maybe that was it. So 4 frees is the stat awarded in the first 35 minutes. There you go. That's interesting. So looking elsewhere on the comments, good crowd watching on YouTube and checking on Facebook as well. You have a choice of where you would like to watch it, and lots of people on that and enjoying the coverage, hopefully. See if I can get you an update from actually the Derry game against Kilkenny. Quite a short break, isn't it? Not like the World Cup where they get all their adverts in. And Derry, no updates from that game just yet, I'm afraid. I did tell you about the draw for the All-Ireland Senior Championship, just in case you missed it. Kerry got Meath. I told you Meath beat Tyrone. Dublin, Cork. So that's all on one side of the draw. And then the other side of the draw, as I said, you've Armagh, Kildare and Galway, Mayo. And then the winners of those two will meet in the semi-finals. This is Tubridy back in. But good work by the fullback, Leanne Keegan. And she has played well in this game. She's been very strong and very quick to take her solo and go, and does well there. To get it up to Aoife Nolan. Now the referee's going to have to stop play here because Tubridy is down. Now she's just got up as the referee is blowing, but he had to hold there. Possible head injury, but she's fine. And we'll get on with the play here. Or rather, Longford will, and are they back up to 15? I wouldn't think so just yet. Yeah, 14 players I count on the field, so they're not up to 15 yet, and they need them all against this vibrant, energetic, revitalised Antrim team out to make a point after the last day. It's very serious implications for the rest of the championship. Antrim and Carlow would have been my favourites at the start of the championship to meet in the final, but with Antrim losing, they could end up in the semi-final meeting. Antrim and Carlow. This is Monaghan again, but strong play by the number 6 Emma Blakely, but too strong they say, and off goes the number 13 Avine, taking full advantage of the solo and go to DeHansey. A lovely 1-2, and Monaghan is through here, drills it over the bar. But what a fine young player there to have the alertness, the speed and the lovely link up as well to score a fabulous point here from Glenavy, same club as the managers. Definitely one for the future and one for today. Blakely gets from the kick out, and the kick outs have been good. They've had to be pinpoint, but Antrim have tended to break them down after the kick out has got to one of the defenders, so they have put on the press second time round. Have been very effective and nearly got a score out of it, but it's blazed wide, I think, by O'Neill. So yeah, the second challenge for Antrim has been very effective in winning after that. I know there's a phrase for that, but I can't remember what it is. But it doesn't matter, you know what I mean. Goalkeeper again, let's see if she gets another good kick out, but they have a player off the field actually. And it looks like Cooney, and she's gone behind the goals there, and she's on her fours over there, whatever is wrong there, so she's had to go off the field with the referee holding the play up, and she has been very, very important to them. They can't play without her, definitely not. In the meantime, let me tell you Longford's results so far in this championship. They beat Kilkenny 5-21 to a point. They lost to Offaly 122, Longford 3-2, and then they lost to Derry by 6 goals, 6-10 to 0-10. And today they trail 2-7 to 2. So I don't think we'll be seeing Longford in the latter stages unless there's a remarkable turnaround, but Antrim very much with big ambitions. Players to come in as well. They've Orla Prenter back today and Niamh McIntosh, and so far they have beaten Offaly. So Offaly, who beat Longford, Antrim beat them well 4-15-1-9 here at Tiernanog and Randalstown. I hope she's okay to continue, Aoife Cooney. And Longford will be wishing the same thing, but she is making her way back onto the pitch, thankfully. And she's good, yeah, she seems fine and sprightly now. Or it's not Aoife Cooney. Aoife Cooney's a goalkeeper. It's Leanne Keegan, sorry, of course. And she's now picking up the elusive and energetic Aoibhinn Monaghan. Almost ready to continue. Referee just waiting for the right signal, I think. Getting the all clear from the Longford medical team, I presume it is. The kick out again goes that side, and how many times has it been taken by Aileen McDonald? And she comes up against the goalkeeper and rather unceremoniously brought down, and they have created their own downfall quite a few times here. The keeper has been good with a lot of her kickouts, but she's presented about 3 of them to Aileen McDonald, and on that occasion she had to bring her down. I would imagine that is going to be another yellow card, so Longford in all sorts of bother here after the long delay. Their fullback and now their goalkeeper is going off, and they haven't actually got back up to 15 yet, so now they're going down to 13. And we are about 6 minutes to go in the first half, but quite a bit of added time there because of the stoppages. So the goalkeeper's gone, so Dave Lambert, God love him, the Longford manager, hasn't had his troubles to seek after coming in January, and still difficult. And Maria O'Neill has hit the post with that one, and it looks like Emma Farrell is going to get there first, and Emma does, and they've had to send Leanne Keegan in the goals. The fullback has gone in the goal, so they haven't even got a goalkeeper on yet. Longford, they need it. Oh, of course, they can't put her on yet unless they make a substitution, because it was a yellow card. So 2 yellows. So all sorts of bother. They don't have a goalkeeper on the field, but they've put the fullback in there, and they're trying to keep Antrim at bay, and they're doing quite well in that regard. But it is one-way traffic. They're not really getting too far up the field. And the Longford management over there are trying to work this out. Well, it would help if they could at least get their first sin bin player back on, but she is standing on the side there with the sleeves rolled up, waiting to get in, but no sign of it just yet for a minute or two. They're bringing a bib over to give it to the goalkeeper, or the stand-in goalkeeper, but here come Antrim to try and take advantage of the situation. The long ball in there, and why not? Because the goalkeeper, stand-in goalkeeper, is there, and she's been beaten to the ball by Maria O'Neill. And Longford all at sea, 13 players without a goalkeeper on the field, and they go down to 3-7 to 2 points. But Antrim taking full advantage, with Maria O'Neill got a goal against Offaly, a goal against Derry, and another goal today. And now they do get the first sin bin player back on, so they're up to 14. Longford, that's Aoife Nolan, of course, or not Aoife Nolan, it's Amy Cregan who's back in, and the ball played towards her now, but brilliantly taken by Elisa Davidson to Aoibhinn Monaghan. And they really are motoring well now. So O'Neill again going for goal. This time she gets a point, but could easily have been under the bar. So Tiernanog Randalstown is the venue in Antrim, and the Devlins are from here. The twins, one of them the captain, this would be their club. They would play camogie here, but they play football for Moneylass, as does Emma Louise McAreevy, who's in the subs today, all 3 from this area. Moneyglass would be 7 or 8 miles up the road. There's a good ball in. Oh, that was close. She volleyed it first time with the stand-in goalkeeper coming at her. That would have been a spectacular goal, and she had the confidence to go for it. I was waiting for that to ripple the net like a World Cup goal, but didn't quite do it. But fair play to her. 3-8 for Antrim. Well, I said about 2017 when they met in the Dub and Longford beat Antrim 7-20-2. We're sort of heading that way, but with the scores reversed. Talebe does really well and drills the ball up into the forwards past the Antrim players, and it always seems like Antrim have about twice as many players in there, so really difficult for Longford. And Agnew takes the solo and goal to DeHunsey. Now the option of going long, and that's how they got the goal, but they also can run it through the lines. Mellon to DeHunsey, and here comes the high one. Now is she going for her own score? Maybe, but goes harmlessly wide. As I say, it's hard to see our monitor, but our monitor I'm looking at now has us over the 30-minute mark, and the one on the ground has 2.5 minutes to go in the first half, which is probably about right. In fact, I would have thought it might even have been a bit more because of the stoppages. I would have thought we could have another 4-5 minutes even. Now that is Leanne Keegan, the stand-in keeper. Agnew takes it for Antrim. Gets support from Coleman, but instead it's intercepted by the girl who come back in, Cregan. But every time Longford seemed to win it back, they are then turned over again. Monaghan does well, but in the end it's cleared well too. That's good running back by Emily Cairns. And Emily, like all the Antrim players, winning their individual battles, and they just seem to have so many players in the field. Well, they do have one more at the minute. Tuberty into Mellon. Lovely change of direction. Through the middle is Carla McKenna. Last Monday night those two would have been in opposite clubs. Actually Mellon wasn't playing, but they were in opposite clubs for a league game now together today, and combining very nicely there to set up another score to make it 3-9-2. Somebody says it was good, Emily, and it was. Emily Cairns, Court Namona Club in Belfast. Number 2 for Antrim today. So Leanne Keegan started the game as fullback, now goalkeeper, and Antrim have won a lot of these kickouts very easily, and Brona Devlin swings at that one and just wide. So shooting in practice now for Antrim, and you would imagine it will be like that in the second half unless there's a big turnaround. Keegan retrieves the ball, and they've had a problem with these kickouts. Now where's she going with this one? Referee signalling, I think, for the players to stay out of the D. You can't go in after the ball is kicked. Good kick out by Keegan. Great distance on it, but still 2 Antrim players are there first. But on the break, Talebe does well and gets a free. And she was challenged with 2 other Antrim players. That sort of sums up the game. And now Talebe looks to take it quickly, and why not? But again, faced up by lots of saffron, and inevitably is turned over. Coleman and McKenna doing well, both from the Sarsfields club. And this is Davidson. But, well, Antrim or Longford looked like they'd got to that, but they didn't. Instead, the goalkeeper's going to hold that up because Talebe looked like she got a knock there, and indeed he is going to hold the play up for that. So yeah, excuse my ignorance on the who's playing today in the men's game. I don't really follow it too much these days. So Donegal, Dublin, I take it, are playing today. Did follow the games yesterday. Armagh beat Bucharest, I know that, and Mayo beat Meath. Yep. I watched all the ladies games as well. 4 terrific games on TG4, YouTube and TG4. Great games and great coverage. There's a free that the referee is going to tick for the challenge as well. Oh, he's not sending her off, is he? Or, well, he's sending her to the line actually, Katie Crawford, but it looked like one of those ones that he's not giving her a yellow card, but it might be a gum shield or something, but he sent her over there. But usually they would show the card, but he sort of said, you go over there. But she looks like she's going to stay over there. She's not rushing over to get something. So yeah, Crawford is off for Longford. Well, what a difficult first half this has been for Longford in so many ways, on the scoreboard and in general play. Goalkeeper problems, yellow card problems and so on. But I'm also watching, yeah, Crawford's over there and staying over there. I was talking to myself there and didn't really see what she did, actually, to be honest. De Hunsey puts it in there. That's a dangerous one, and it's O'Neill, gets a boot on it, could go anywhere, and they managed to clear it just about, and Longford just trying to get to half time, and they've just done that. 5 minutes in, that's what I thought, about 5 minutes, and it was 5 minutes. 35 minutes exactly in the first half, bar a couple of seconds, and it's 3-9 to 2 points, and you can't really argue with that at all from an Antrim point of view. Very convincing in the first half, a goal in the first 15 seconds or so, and they have kept the scoreboard ticking over since then, and it's looking gloomy, to say the least, for Longford in the second half. But Antrim, for them, back on track after the defeat by Derry. I think that's the word from the first half. We will go and get some sun cream on maybe, and maybe an ice cream at half time, and we'll be back shortly. sun is gone. And Antrim, I think they've gone home as well. I haven't seen them for the last few minutes, even though Longford have been out in the pitch for quite a while. No sign of Antrim, the home team here, really taking their time coming back out for the second half. Lets me have time to tell you the half-time from the other game in the Junior Championship today. And I see saffron jerseys coming now. There they are, just walking out, taking their time. And it's Derry leading Kilkenny 2-15 to no score at half-time. At half-time here, as you can see, 3-9 to 2 points for Antrim. And over to the left there, that blue, couldn't quite say building, but what do you call those things? Containers. And that's where they have the shop and the tea and all that. And a good crowd in the foreground there as well to the right. Tiernan Ogan Randalstown for this game. And I went and got the sun cream, but not sure it will need it the way things are going. A lot of cloud cover now, but maybe it'll come back out again. But very warm in the first half, and maybe that's why Antrim took so long. And I'd imagine they'll empty the bench quite well in the second half here, with the big lead and trying to give the panel football, to give them game time. And obviously we'll be looking at the likes of the Taggart sisters from Aldergrove, 17 and 18. Aoife got a goal against Offaly. And then you're looking at Hannah Donaghy from St Bridget's, and from the same club, Cleana Logan, who would be a niece of Fergal Logan, the Tyrone manager of a few years ago, won the All-Ireland. Lara McNichol, also from St Bridget's. And then you have Anya Kelly from, what it says here, St Joseph's, or Niamh Seamus, but it was Anya Kelly. I'm thinking Aoife Kelly from Moneyglass. Yeah, Anya Kelly is from there. And then you have, of course, Orla Prenter from Moneyglass. We're looking forward to seeing her return. I'd imagine she'll get on at some point. And maybe even Niamh McIntosh, number 30, the winning Ulster Championship captain last year with Moneyglass. So, Philip Conway about to get us underway for the second half then. We'll keep an eye to see if there's any changes. And, of course, Longford still down to 14, I think. So there's a spare player there for Antrim at the back, yeah. So a lot of cards in the first half. I think it was 3 yellow cards for Longford in total. At the minute, I think they're down just to the 14, not the 13, which they were for a few minutes, and Antrim got a goal in that time. And it's Antrim one-way traffic at the start of the second half and for most of the first half. And there's a score surely for Anya Lynch Tubridy. Has it gone over? It has gone inside the post. She's usually good for a point a game, and has got one there. And it's her husband Declan in and around the goalmouth there at half time, with the wee ones having a bit of crack out there. Declan, a former Antrim men's captain. Well taken by Laura Agnew for her team again. And now it's Aoibhinn Monaghan fitted in. Devlin gives it on to O'Neill, and they were looking to find a way through, and it's kind of shooting practice. It really is in the second half. And even though it's only going for a minute, it looks ominous, because Longford down to the 14, and they're a little bit dispirited and finding it difficult against this very good Antrim team, who, as I say, will certainly bring some subs on in the second half. They've seen what the 15 out there can do. They've certainly redeemed themselves after the Derry game. And there's Monaghan belting another one over the pitch. Well, or was it? Yeah, Coleman was up there helping. On Gina Coleman. Was it her who kicked it? I thought it was Aoibhinn Monaghan. Anyway, it was one of those. Aoibhinn Monaghan, I thought it was. But she's, as I say, in the first half, not big in stature, but she is tough and elusive and energetic there, and has got lots of good scores today. That one's gone through to Carla McKenna. This is Davidson. The girls from 2 Belfast clubs, but it's broken down. Longford get it to Talebe. Talebe, not many options up ahead though, and having to carry the ball, which she's doing very well. That's a great bit of play by her, though the kick in the end has almost worked out as a solo, and it has actually. She did brilliantly to get it back and get support from Crawford. Now, I didn't quite understand why she went off at the end of the first half, but she's back on now, and fed to her again by Gallagher. Out to Darcy. This is better from Longford. Maybe it won't be shooting in. Maybe it won't be one way. Number 17 is Catherine Kilduff. Madden to Darcy. Talebe has made herself available, and indeed will get the ball now. Maybe she looks up, and not much to play with or two, and indeed it breaks down, and the two St Bridget's girls combine there, and off goes Mellon, putting on the burners and waiting for movement, but instead has to give it short and gives it to was it Davidson? It was, but it's broken down. 3-11-2 then. That's good from Kilduff to Talibi and back. Catherine looking for a little bit of support. This is better from Longford, keeping possession. Crawford back to Emma Blakely, her centre half back. 21, I think that is now, Aoife Nolan. Again, just trying to hold on to the ball, but under serious pressure. Strong play, and indeed is fouled by McKenna, I think it was in the end, or maybe a combination of McKenna and Coleman. Actually, it wasn't Coleman, it was Cairns, number 2. Coleman's actually a little bit further back, I see. She looked to be watching the run by Talibi. She's only like a +1, but they've about 4 +1s in there, Antrim. They just seem to have so many more players on the field. It's going to be a free for Longford. And Crawford calling the shots as much as she can for Longford and spreading the play out to this side to Farrell. This is better. This is Cregan. Not really making too much progress, but plenty of possession with Gallagher and now Darcy. But just going really from side to side. That's all they can do at the minute because of the way Antrim are set up and maybe lack of numbers. But better progress now going through the middle, and Gallagher feeds the ball out, but it's gone over the head. And Agnew comes across, and she's penalised there, even though she did get a touch on the ball. So they will wait for Aoife Darcy to come over to take this. Difficult angle. They've only got 2 points on the board so far. This to get their first in quite a while, and their first in the second half. She's got that well, actually, and she's put it over nicely. That's really well converted. Agnew, loads of room out on this side. Antrim using the spare player extremely well. Fed on by Lynch to Monaghan, to Mellon. This is better from Antrim, to Hunsey, back to Mellon on her favourite left, but very unselfishly gives it inside, but might still get the goal at the end of it. Real live wire play from Antrim, and finished to the net by Maria O'Neill. A goal against Offaly, a goal against Derry, and 2 the same. And Antrim really have redeemed themselves here today with a fine performance. When they get going, they have pace and power and lots of options, and they move it very quickly, and they are lethal. Good goal. 4-11 to 3 points. Strong play again from Antrim to win that, with Laura Agnew taking it. Real drama, by the way, in Donegal, Dublin. I do realise now that they are playing, and what a game it is. It's gone to extra time. Let's follow this one though, because Antrim in with another chance. Well intercepted though. Michael Murphy, of all people, delivered under pressure a 2-pointer to bring Donegal level and force extra time in Croke Park. So there you have it. You imagine the scenes in Croke Park with that happening there. And as I say, of all people, Michael Murphy nailing it. No better man. You can't beat class. And a 2-pointer to force extra time. As you might notice as well, number 16 is on for Longford. That's their sub-keeper. And their sub-keeper, number 16, is Sarah McDermott from St Bridget's Gales. So that change must have been made at half-time to allow the number 3, Leanne Keegan, to go outfield, although I don't actually see her at the minute. She had a bit of bother, and maybe she's had to go off. Maybe that's the switch that they made, actually. In fact, I think it is. I can't see Leanne around the field. So that was a change at half-time then by Longford. Devlin sends it in, and it's gone all the way through, and there's another goal. And Antrim scoring at will, a couple of goals in a couple of minutes. That's the 5th goal today. And Longford caught sleeping a little bit there by the 45 sent in there. And Maria O'Neill, I think, has now scored 3 goals today. A hat-trick for Maria. Crawford takes advantage of the solo and go to Gallagher. This is better, and she's been tracked though, and well tracked by Maeve Mulholland, the number 4 there from the Glenravel club, to try and keep her out. And great aggressive play there from Maeve Blaney to get out in front and feed the ball to Tubridy, and off go Antrim once more, putting it into that full forward line. Who knows what their final total will be here today, the way that they're playing. Don't see any movement on the bench yet. The 15 out there have certainly done their job today. So this winning of this game is not in doubt. But we will see as the game goes on if Antrim really pile on the scores. Longford, though, to their credit, still coming at them. More in individual bursts like this. There's nobody ahead of her at all, but really good play by Dawson. Gets support eventually from Gallagher, and there is even play or support in the middle, but has he got that over? They have, you know. That's a great score from Longford, bearing in mind they've just conceded 2 goals at the other end. The heads have not gone down. 4 points then, plays 5-11. These kickouts are very easy for Antrim because Longford just don't seem to have the players or the energy. Just going to count them actually here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, maybe they're up to 15 now, Longford, but they cannot contain this Antrim team running amok, and they get it to Aileen McDonnell, to Tubridy looking for a second, and that one just the wrong side of the post. So nearly 10 minutes in, and it's Antrim extending their lead with a couple of goals and a couple of points to 2 points in the first 10 minutes of the second half. Agnew very good under the kickouts there, and indeed gets possession in the end and feeds a nice ball actually to Monaghan, but there was a knock to the head to the Monaghan player, I'm thinking of Avian Monaghan, to the Longford player. We've done Monaghan a lot recently, to be fair. Next week we're hoping to do an All-Ireland Intermediate quarter-final. Mullingar, Westmeath playing Wexford in that one, so hopefully we'll be able to bring you on live stream in that one next week. Let me check for you on the break here and what else is going on. So I told you about Donegal, Dublin and the men, and Michael Murphy's 2-pointer. That's really, I think, all there is. Derry leading Kilkenny at half-time, and the ladies 2-15 to no score. Mellon for Antrim with a burst of pace, wants to get it back, gets it back, and that's McDonnell being felled unceremoniously, and there's going to be a card possibly there. Is it Crawford who brought her down? I don't think it's Crawford. That actually might be the 19. I saw her at half time. Would that be Rhiannon McGrath? Maybe she came in at half time as well. Is it her? I'm not quite sure, but whoever it is, they're in bother here, and I do believe this will be Longford's 4th yellow card, 3rd maybe. Actually, is it 14? Can't see the number just yet, but McDonnell still on the ground from the challenge. It is 14 actually, so it is Kitty Crawford, and you know, I'd say that's just frustration from the way the game has been going. She's been fouled quite a bit herself, but has been fighting a lone battle in there, trying to get through a forest of saffron jerseys, and it just hasn't been happening for her. And she's fouled there and gone off for 10 minutes. Free then, which O'Neill eases over the bar. Now, why is the referee blowing? Is it substitute time? No, it's water break time. Yeah, a bit early this time. And It hasn't been that warm actually in the second half, but probably the players will appreciate it out there. And I imagine at this point you'd be thinking Antrim will be looking to empty the bench. In fact, I see 2 or 3 players there. Is that the Taggarts? Aoife over there and her sister Caitlin from the Aldergrove Club. I'd imagine they will be coming on, or at least one of them. So maybe we're going to get a couple of changes now from Antrim. Just taking this opportunity to check what's going on from elsewhere for you. Just watching on the clips from Croke Park, there was another 2-pointer for Donegal actually just before that, from Shane's and then Michael Murphy. All right, that was a quick water break. We're up and ready to go again. As I say, not like the World Cup water breaks, which I think are quite creatively, I would say, designed to get adverts on in the soccer. So the reserve keeper for Longford drills it out to that side. Well taken on the break for Longford, I think by Aoife Nolan. This is centre half back Bleakley. So they are doing well here to try and get up the field. And Gallagher, who's soldiered all year from them. We did their first game in Division 4 back in January when we had our first chance to look at the new rules. That was against Leitrim. They were well beaten that day and had just brought in a new manager. And he's had his work to do this year. And they're coming up against a very, very well drilled Antrim team. It makes you wonder though how on earth Antrim got beaten by Derry given the previous results. It must have been a really transformed Derry performance and very determined from them, to be fair. 23's on there, and it is indeed Orla Prenter into the play for Antrim. So the change wasn't one of the Taggarts. I thought it was one of the Taggarts over on that far side, but it's, well, actually 17 is in there. I wasn't wrong. Caitlin Taggart is in there for Antrim. So 2 changes by Antrim. One, Orla Prenter, who's now on the ball. This is Orla Prenter back in an Antrim jersey for the first time in a couple of years. Now, what's the referee blowing here? Is it a breach? He has blown for a breach, yeah, even though I can see 3 Longford players in their own half. One of them must have veered over the line, so it's going to be a free in for Antrim, as if they didn't need any more easy opportunities to score. But Maria O'Neill will pop this one over. So I'm trying to work out who Antrim replaced actually. Yeah, 18 is on. Well, so I was right actually. The 2 Taggarts are on there. So it's Aoife Taggart and Caitlin, the Taggart sisters from Aldergrove, both in there. So Antrim made 3 changes. Don't see Alyssa Davidson out there now. And I don't see Aileen McDonald, who was fouled a few minutes ago, so maybe they took her off. I think she's gone as well, and I don't see Aveen Monaghan. So the full forward line has been replaced, as far as I can tell, for Antrim. But quality players coming in, 3 changes, and I'm sure they'll make a few more. Antrim working hard to win the ball back, but Longford burst through the first press, if you like. Back to Bleakley. I think that's Madden trying to put a direct ball in there, looking for Darcy. Been followed by Maeve Mulholland though, just shepherded away from goal, not diving in, and just seeing if she will work her way back out, which she does. Well done by the corner back. Simple play, but very effective. And then 4 or 5 Antrim players getting in and around. 13 minutes to go then, 24 points in it. And Antrim utterly dominant from the first 10-15 seconds of the game. Back out to Darcy again though, as Longford have a spell of possession. In fact, if she turns and comes further out here, she has options, because Emma Farrell is coming up to join it. Now they work it to her, but Maeve Blaney comes out and does enough to spook her, and the ball goes through them. Agnew, head up, looking where to go with this. Drills it into that full forward line. She was aiming for one of the Taggarts. And that's pressure from Aoife Taggart. Antrim's manager calling for a little bit more. Longford getting out rather easily. Blaney just following. And again, good play by the Antrim defenders, not diving in. Policing the Longford forwards when they come forward. This is well worked for Longford to get it out to this side, to Emma Bleakley again from the Dromard club. But then they give it away cheaply, as they've done a lot. Antrim have just waited for them and let them make their own mistakes and then try to punish them on the break. Coleman gets it through, not the intended target, but Maria O'Neill has it now, and they've spread the play over to that far side to Orla Prenter. And Prenter, would she get her first score back in an Antrim jersey? She doesn't. Was her kind of range, but there was a good block by the Longford defender. And they have 5 or 6 players around there now, but they're a little bit static. They look a bit tired. And the referee having a word actually with Orla Prenter, and now sent her to the line. I wonder, is that a gum shield issue? Maybe he spotted when he was at close quarters there that she didn't have the gum shield in, something like that. That's what that looks like. Or could be a jewellery issue, something like that. Probably a gum shield. With the 14 players, Antrim get it again, and number 14, Maria O'Neill. That's the St Paul's girls combining again brilliantly, and now they find the captain, Brona Devlin, with loads of room, and she's not going to miss from there. And it's 5-14 and a very impressive performance by Antrim. Longford all at sea, just unable to pick up all of the players, and Antrim still full of energy. Prenter back in. Bleakley takes it and got the mark, and she was challenged after she got the mark. I'm not sure if she claimed it or not, but you can't be challenged after you take the mark. So that's maybe why they got that one. And this is good by Gallagher to Darcy. Antrim trying to get players back, and that's a great ball forward, and they've got it to Shauna Madden. This is their best move of the game, and it's ended with a good score as well. Where has this Longford team been? That's more like it. Their 5th point only of the game, but they've kept going and they've kept their heads up, and that shows what they can do. And for once they had Antrim racing back, and I wonder was she going for goal, but she just drilled it anyway and got her point. Tubridy on to Brona Devlin, and lots of room to DeHunsey, who's moved into the forwards more in this half. Back to Brona Devlin, and she drills that one but straight into the player and goes again, and that's her 2nd in a row. One off the right, one off the left, and Brona Devlin on her hometown club here in Randalstown with another score to make it 5-15 to 5. Two more Antrim subs coming in, and they're replacing Emily Cairns, the number 2, and who else? DeHunsey is going off as well. Might be trickier to tell you who's come in. Trying to work that out for you. No, might take me a minute or two. From the kick out on the break, that was Coleman going for it bravely, as she always does. There's the sun coming out again. Longford get it to Dawson. A little bit of room in front of her, but Agnew immediately gets back. And that's going to go through to one of the girls who's come on for Antrim. That's number 19. That's Aisling Mulholland. Another from Glenravel. Con McGee's. This is Shauna Madden for Longford. Antrim watching the breach. One player on the line. It's Orla Prenter. She won't be too used to keeping an eye on that sort of thing after being in Australia the last couple of years. That one drilled into the full forward line, but that's easy for Antrim back there. And it was the corner back, Maeve Mulholland, who got out in front there. All too easy at the back for Antrim, really. And going forward, they have so many players over. Looking to get another score, and Mellon trying to get through for a goal. And she's fed it very unselfishly to Taggart. And Aoife Taggart, who got a goal against Offaly, has got another one here, and it's 6 of the best by Antrim. And they have signalled their intentions. They're back on track in this TG4 All-Ireland Junior Championship. After losing to Derry, they have put Longford very much to the sword here today in Randalstown. Put them under pressure. They've put them under a lot of pressure all day. Serious pressure, and it's been impressive from Antrim. But it makes it very interesting that that last game defeat by Derry, it makes it much more interesting than a lot of people thought. So today Derry will go to 9 points, Antrim will go to 6, same as Offaly, as Longford try and rescue something from this game, but repelled by Antrim once again. So Antrim away to Kilkenny next week, and Offaly at home to Derry. So Derry can get to 12 points, Antrim can get to 9. So Derry could well win the group. Here is Orla Prenter looking for her first score since coming back. Is it inside the post? The umpire nods. It is indeed, and Prenter has announced her return, and that's a huge boost to Antrim in their search to try and win this TG4 All-Ireland Junior Championship. Back from Australia after a couple of years. A quality player before she left, and clearly still quality there again. 6-16 to 5 points. .54 minutes gone then, just 5 to go. And this is Darcy again, out in front, doing well. And a player for Longford, I think it was Crawford who's back in the play, goes to ground further out the field in an altercation with Tubridy, and she appeals to the sideline. I'm not sure they saw what happened, but it went on anyway and became a point for Longford, who are going to make another couple of changes. In fact, Fumi Talibi, who was off for them, looks like coming back into the play. So 2 changes coming up for Longford, and the referee having a word with Crawford, who I think has already spent 10 minutes on the sideline, and she's appealing to the referee. And is he taking her word, her name again? She's appealing, but it looks like this could be a second yellow for Crawford in the second half. Kind of sums up Longford's day, and that's yellow, 2 yellows and a red, is it? Yep, there goes the red, and Crawford's day is ending in misery, and Longford with 6 points on the board, well beaten here today. Now let's see, the referee wasn't ready, whatever was the issue there. I know that's because he wants to talk to Tubridy as well, who was the other player involved a minute ago. This looks like being another yellow. So I reckon we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. Maybe this is the 6th yellow card today, and yet it doesn't feel like it was that kind of game today. And of course Tubridy had a yellow in the first half, so a red for Tubridy as well. So a lot of yellows and a lot of cards. It's the day for cards, been Father's Day, but this is taking it to another level. I don't really see this often in a game, and there's been no real edge to the game at all, but fouls are fouls. Talibi back in for Longford, taking the place of Madden, and I think one other change as well. 22 Cregan has gone off, and I saw there Antrim's 22 is on the field. That would be Anya Kelly. So she came on about 3 or 4 minutes ago for Antrim, who worked this to Mia Blaney. Blaney forward to the 22 to Anya Kelly. And there could well be a breach here, because I'm looking off camera here, and Longford, well, they went on and got a score anyway, so it matters not, but Longford have only 2 players and still only have 2 players in their own half. So the minute they haven't even realised, and the manager's trying to say to them, but the play has gone on, they have the ball and they're calling breach now. I spotted it about 20 seconds ago. Now they have the other player up there, and I guess it just shows they're all at sea. Players been sent off, yellow carded, red carded here and there, and it's all a little bit messy. And yes, he has now given the breach, which happened before the last score and resolved itself when the ball got back into play, but it was seen. But look, it matters not, we'll not get too excited about it with a couple of minutes to go. 35 plays, 6-17, that is a mighty score. Now, what has Michael Murphy done in Donegal? Dublin dreams start apparently to extra time, but I'm reading something about Michael Murphy, who was the hero a few minutes ago, but something has happened down there. I'll try and get that for you. That kick out towards Talibi, but Devlin got a good fist to it to break it from her, and she might benefit here as Antrim come again with Coleman. Good work though by Talibi getting back there. So there's some kind of a row in Croke Park. I'll not comment on it because I don't know what's happened, but there is something about after a free. Maybe I'll just leave that one there and concentrate on this game. Might be a better idea. We're nearly at the end here. Last minute of normal time. Now, what's the hold up? Can't even see the referee now. Oh yeah, he's over the far side talking to Siobhan Coyle Kelly, the linesperson on the far side. Oh, there's a player down over there. Sorry, I lost concentration. I was away trying to see what Michael Murphy was doing or not doing. The goalkeeper has the ball in her arms anyway. Oh, it's Talibi who's down on that far side for Longford. They will have a long drive back to Longford. Their day has been very miserable here. (6:17) 35 plays 6. Dublin up by 3, I'm being told, and about 4 black cards in that game. Antrim come again, looking to finish the job with a 7th goal, and it's a substitute, Taggart, and she's kept out this time by very good defending from Longford. Gallagher back there, the captain, still fighting for her team. Sorry about that breaking commentary, I had to sneeze. Taggart under pressure, and it's won back well by Alva Brady, the number 2 for Longford from Mostram. This is Emma Farrell. Another sneeze, sorry. And there's about as often as an Antrim point. This is Prenter. Prenter playing well out the field, not on the full forward line to get involved in the play. Feeding it in now though, and this is Antrim coming through with Anya Kelly, and on the run now it's Maria O'Neill. Not a 4th goal, is it? Oh, it's saved this time by the sub-keeper who had to come in at half-time, and that is Sarah McDermott with a fine save for Longford to prevent a 7th goal when it looked like it was on the cards. Maria O'Neill looking for a 4th. She's already got 3, but not this time. Will be a free in though. Almost 2 minutes added on. Don't think there'll be too much. Well, actually, there were a few stoppages, so could be another minute or 2. And is it a breach again? It might have been a breach again, because I see the captain of Longford going up to halfway. And yeah, it looks like they were caught again. It's just been a disorganised situation for them. And Laura Agnew has won that from the kick out, and surely it's another goal right at the end to finish it. Is she fouled? The referee says play on. It looked like a foul from here, but Longford did get players back and repelled that one somehow. And Antrim denied again a 7th goal. Well, 7th would be appropriate in a way from an Antrim point of view, because in 2017, and as I've said a couple of times, they met in the dub. Must have been a league game, and it was Longford 7-20, Antrim 2 points. So it would have been some sort of turnaround 9 years later for Antrim to reach 7 goals against Longford. But probably won't happen now, because it's Longford on the attack and Gallagher faced up by Maeve Blaney. Gives it back to Alva Brady. To Aoife Nolan, to Darcy, another Aoife. Will they get a score right at the end? Gallagher, she deserves one, and that might come in, you know. It's a tricky one for the goalkeeper, and she has to fist it down, but Talibi is in there trying to force it over the line, and she might well have done, and she has. Well, that's persistence for you, and Longford, to be fair, have kept their heads up and fought right to the end, and even though they were an awful long way back, Talibi, who was on, went off, has come back in, has got some consolation for them at the end, and fair play to them, with all the problems they have had today, to pull a goal out right at the end, deep into added time. Play goes on though. 4 minutes nearly of added time, and Carla McKenna going forward to see if Antrim, as the sun comes out, looking to get another goal. It's Agnew, forceful running again, forced to go at an angle, and then it's Prenter, and that looks good from Prenter. It is good from Prenter. That's 2 points from her. She has announced her return from Australia in Australian-like weather here in Randalstown, and that makes it 6-19 to 1-6, and Antrim looking good. And there it is, 4 minutes and 15 seconds in, and yet we still play on. Thought that was a full-time whistle, but it's not. And Longford go again, and it's Gallagher again, the captain, followed by Coleman, but gets it to Aoife Darcy. And that's a good ball, and Talibi's free again. Is she looking for another goal? Maybe just to take a point or leave one off. No, she's going for it. Well, she drilled that one and got a good score. 1-1 by Talibi in added time. Credit to her, and it means that they get the double figures in terms of 1-7 making 10. Nearly 5 minutes completed, added on, and still we continue. 19 is Anya Kelly to Agnew, who sets off again and puts the burners on, looking for a return, doesn't get it from McKenna, who comes inside and gives it instead to Taggart, Caitlin Taggart this time. She has options. She gives it to Mellon, and from distance she swings her left boot at it, and of course it's accurate. Really good score to make it 20 points today. No 2-pointers, but 20 singles, 6-20 to 1-7. Referee looking at his watch, so I'd imagine this could be the last kick, or the last 15 seconds or so. Checks it again, and indeed that is the final whistle here to Tiernan Ogan Randalstown. Nearly 66 minutes played, and it's a comprehensive win for Antrim in the TG4 All-Ireland Junior Championship. A very, very comprehensive performance, lots of pluses for them throughout the field, and back on track after losing to Derry the last day. And it puts them in a strong position again in Group A now on 6 points from their 3 games. And next week they will go to Kilkenny, so you'd imagine they will go to 9 points. But they might have to be satisfied with second place in the group after losing to Derry. Derry going very well, and they go to Offaly next week, who have 6 points so far. So that will be a key game in the group there. And in Group B it's Carlow, Sligo, Limerick and London. So Carlow very much the favourites there, and Derry the favourites in Group A now. But if Antrim finish second, you would imagine they would meet the winners of Group B, being Carlow, and then possibly Sligo or Limerick against the likes of Derry, the way things are going, unless Offaly can do something next week against Derry. That's sort of the situation. But what it means as well is that Antrim have beaten Longford for the 3rd time in a year, basically, or just over a year. Twice in the Junior Championship, 2 years in a row, and they have beaten them again today. And they beat them in the league last year, so 3 wins in a row. In fact, Longford haven't beaten Antrim since 2017. Only met them 3 times, to be fair, but they played them a few times around that period, 2016, 2017, beat them in the All-Ireland final and beat them in the dub 7-20-2, and today 6-20. Antrim nearly emulated that 7-20 by getting 6-20 here today, very close. Derry scored 7-26 today against Kilkenny, who got 2 points. So 2 very one-sided games in the junior championship today. Antrim in the huddle there, and we'd love to get a manager over and get a word with him. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get over. He's having the chat there with them, so we'll either wait for him or we will go off air maybe and get him recorded and bring it to you on social media. Might be an easier way of doing it rather than hang it on. And well, there's the players break-in, so there might be an opportunity to get him here if he's remembered that I asked him before the game. And yeah, maybe Mickey Devlin in the red, I think it is, from this distance I can see, with Chris Scullion, the 2 managers. No, I think he's got other things on his mind, so we'll just break off, I think, from the live stream and get him recorded for you and put it in social media later. That's probably the best plan. So hope you enjoyed the coverage in the sunshine. It's got very warm here again. Time to get more sun cream on. Antrim have won and they go forward, but that's the end of the live stream from Tyrone at Ogan, Randalstown. It's been a very pleasant visit for us here today. Fine club, and we hope to be back again someday, but for now, it's goodbye.